Anglesey is an island off the northwest coast of Wales. With an area of 276 square miles, Anglesey is by far the largest island of Wales and the fifth largest island surrounding Great Britain. Anglesey is also the largest island in the Irish Sea by area, and the second most populous island in the Irish Sea. The population at the 2011 census was 69,751. Two bridges span the Menai Strait, connecting the island to the mainland. The Menai Suspension Bridge, designed by Thomas Telford in 1826, and the Britannia Bridge, formerly a historic county of Wales and later part of Gwynedd. Anglesey today makes up the Isle of Anglesey County along with Holy Island and other smaller islands. Almost three-quarters of Anglesey's inhabitants are Welsh speakers, and Ynys Môn, the Welsh name for the island, is used for the UK Parliament and National Assembly constituencies. Etymology: Anglesey is derived from Old Norse, originally meaning either Anglesey or Nglisey. No record of any such Ngli survives, but the place name was used by Viking raiders as early as the 10th century and was later adopted by the Normans during their invasions of Gwynedd. The traditional folk etymology reading the name as the island of the English may account for its Norman use but is without merit, although the Angles name itself is probably a cognate reference to the shape of the Anglian Peninsula. All of these ultimately derive from the proposed Proto-Indo-European root *ank. It was also formerly spelled as Anglesey. Ynys Môn, the island's Welsh name, was first recorded as Latin Mona by various Roman sources. It was likewise known to the Saxons as Mones. The Brittonic original was in the past taken to have meant Island of the Cow. This view is linguistically untenable, however, according to modern scientific philology. The etymology thus currently remains a mystery. Poetic names for Anglesey include the Old Welsh Ynys Dylwyth for its former groves and Ynys Wysden for its royal courts, Gerald of Wales's Môn, Mam Cymru for its productivity, and Wyfel Ynys. History: numerous megalithic monuments and menhirs are present on Anglesey, testifying to the presence of humans in prehistory. Plas Newydd is near one of 28 cromlechs that remain on uplands overlooking the sea. The Welsh triads claim that Anglesey was once part of the mainland. Historically, Anglesey has long been associated with Druids. In AD 60, the Roman general Gaius Suetonius Paulinus, determined to break the power of the Celtic Druids, attacked the island utilizing his amphibious Batavian contingent as a surprise vanguard assault and then destroying the shrine and the sacred groves. News of Boudicca's revolt reached him just after his victory, causing him to withdraw his army before consolidating his conquest. The island was finally brought into the Roman Empire by Gnaeus Julius Agricola, the Roman governor of Britain, in AD 78. During the Roman occupation, the area was notable for the mining of copper. The foundations of Caer Gibber as well as a fort at Holyhead are Roman, and the present road from Holyhead to Llanfairpwll Gwngyl may originally have been a Roman road. British Iron Age and Roman sites have been excavated, and coins and ornaments discovered, especially by the 19th century antiquarian William Owen Stanley. Following the Roman departure from Britain in the early 5th century, pirates from Ireland colonized Anglesey and the nearby Llyn Peninsula. In response to this, Cynedr ap Edern, a Gododdin warlord from Scotland, came to the area and began the process of driving the Irish out. This process was continued by his son Einion Yrth ap Cynedr and grandson Cadwallon Lawhyr ap Einion. The last Irish invaders finally being defeated in battle in 470. As an island, Anglesey was in a good defensive position and, because of this, Aberfraw became the site of the court, or lees, of the Kingdom of Gwynedd. Apart from a devastating Danish raid in 853, it was to remain the capital until the 13th century, when improvements to the English navy made the location indefensible. After the Irish, the island was invaded by Vikings, some of these raids being noted in famous sagas, as well as Saxons and Normans, before falling to Edward I of England in the 13th century. Geography. Anglesey is a relatively low-lying island with hills spaced evenly over the north of the island. The highest six are Holyhead Mountain, Mynydd Bodafon, Mynydd Clan Eilian, Mynydd Wygarn, Bwrdd Arthur, and Mynydd Lladeth. To the southeast the island is separated from the Welsh mainland by the Menai Strait, which at its narrowest point is about 250 metres wide. In all other directions the island is surrounded by the Irish Sea. It is the 51st largest island in Europe. Anglesey has several small towns scattered around the island, making it quite evenly populated. The largest towns are Holyhead, Llangefni, Benech, Menai Bridge, and Amlwch. Beaumaris, in the east of the island, features Beaumaris Castle, built by Edward I as part of his Bastide Town campaign in North Wales. Beaumaris is a yachting centre for the region, with many boats moored in the bay or off Gallows Point. The village of Newborough, in the south, created when the townsfolk of Llanfees were relocated to make way for the building of Beaumaris Castle, includes the site of Lys Rosa, another of the courts of the medieval Welsh princes, which features one of the oldest courtrooms in the United Kingdom. Llangefni is located in the centre of the island and is the island's administrative centre. The town of Menai Bridge expanded when the first bridge to the mainland was being built, in order to accommodate workers and construction. Until then, Portheath Way had been one of the principal ferry crossing points from the mainland. A short distance from this town lies Bryn Celyn, a Stone Age burial mound. Also nearby is the village with the longest purported place name in the United Kingdom, Clan Fairpool Gungilgodurich Wiandro Bulliantasilio Gogogoch. Nearby is Plas Nelworth, ancestral home of the Marquesses of Anglesey. The town of Amlwch is situated in the northeast of the island and was once largely industrialised, having grown during the 18th century supporting the copper mining industry at Paris Mountain. Other villages and settlements include Cemais, Pentraeth, Gerwyn, Dwyran, Bodedan, Maltraeth, and Rosnager. The Anglesey Sea Zoo is a local tourist attraction, providing a look at and descriptions of local marine wildlife from lobsters to conger eels. All the fish and crustaceans on display are caught around the island and are placed in reconstructions of their natural habitat. They also make salt and breed commercially lobsters for food, and oysters for pearls, both from local stocks. The island's entire rural coastline has been designated an area of outstanding natural beauty and features many sandy beaches, especially along its eastern coast between the towns of Beaumaris and Amlwch, and along the western coast from Ynys Môn through Rosnager to the little bays around Carmel Head. The northern coastline is characterized by dramatic cliffs interspersed with small bays. The Anglesey Coastal Path is a 200-kilometre path which follows nearly the entire coastline. Tourism is now the most significant economic activity on the island. Industry and energy. Major industries are restricted to Holyhead, which, until the 30th of September 2009, supported an aluminium smelter, and the Amlwch area, once a major copper mining town. Nearby is the Wilver nuclear power station and a former bromine extraction plant. In 1971, the Wilver reactors began producing electricity, with one reactor decommissioned in 2012 and the other expected to end production in 2015. The site is a strong possibility for a replacement reactor, planned by Horizon, a subsidiary of Hitachi, to start production in the 2020s. The replacement has been enthusiastically endorsed by Anglesey Council and Welsh Assembly members, but protesters have raised doubts about the economic and safety claims made for the plant. Anglesey also has 3 wind farms on land, and more than 20 offshore wind turbines established near the north coast. There are plans for the world's first tidal flow turbines, near the Skerries, off the north coast, and for a major biomass plant on Holy Island. Developing such low-carbon energy assets to their full potential forms part of the Anglesey Energy Island project. When the aluminium smelting operation closed down in September 2009, it reduced its workforce from 450 to 80. This has been a major blow to the island's economy, especially to the town of Holyhead. The Royal Air Force Station Rath Valley is home to the RAF Fast Jet Training School and also 22 Squadron Search and Rescue helicopters, both units providing employment for approximately 500 civilians. Rath Valley is now home to the headquarters of 22 Squadron Search and Rescue. There is a wide range of smaller industries, mostly located in industrial and business parks, especially at Llangefni and Gerwin. These industries include an abattoir and fine chemicals manufacture, as well as factories for timber production, aluminium smelting, fish farming and food processing. The island is also on one of the major routes from Britain to Ireland via ferries from Holyhead, off the west of Anglesey on Holy Island, to Dunleary and Dublin Port. Rivers, lakes and climate. There are a few natural lakes, mostly in the west, such as Llyn the largest natural lake on the island, Llyncorin, and Cors Cerrig-y-Duran, but rivers are few and small. There are two large water supply reservoirs operated by Dŵr Cymru Welsh Water. These are Llyn Ala to the north of the island and Llyn Sefni in the centre of the island, which is fed by the headwaters of the Afon Sefni. The climate is humid and generally equable, being affected by the Gulf Stream. The land is of variable quality and it was probably much more fertile in the past. Anglesey is the home of the northernmost olive grove in Europe and presumably in the world. See the list of places in Anglesey for all villages, towns and cities. See the list of Anglesey towns by population for populations. Ecology and conservation. Much of Anglesey is used for relatively intensive cattle and sheep farming. However, there are a number of important wetland sites which have protected status. In addition, the several lakes all have significant ecological interest, including their support for a wide range of aquatic and semi-aquatic bird species. In the west, the Maltraeth marshes are believed to support an occasional visiting bittern, and the nearby estuary of the Afon Sefni supports a bird population made internationally famous by the paintings of Charles Tunnicliffe, who lived for many years, and died, at Maltraeth on the Sefni estuary. The Raffa Estrip at Mona is a nesting site for skylarks. The sheer cliff faces at South Stack near Holyhead provide nesting sites for huge numbers of auks, including puffins, razorbills and guillemots, together with choughs and peregrine falcons. 3 sites on Anglesey are important for breeding terns. See Anglesey tern colonies. There are significant occurrences of the Juncus subnodulosus circium paluster fen meadow plant association, a habitat characterized by certain hydrophilic grasses, sedges and forbs. Anglesey is home to several species of tern, including the roseate tern. Anglesey is home to 2 of the UK's few remaining colonies of red squirrels, at Pentraeth and Newborough. Almost the entire coastline of Anglesey is designated as an area of outstanding natural beauty to protect the aesthetic appeal and variety of the island's coastal landscape and habitats from inappropriate development. The coastal zone of Anglesey was designated as an AONB in 1966 and was confirmed as such in 1967. The ANB is predominantly a coastal designation, covering most of Anglesey's 125 miles coastline, but also encompasses Holyhead Mountain and Mynydd Bod Afon. Substantial areas of other land protected by the ANB form the backdrop to the coast. The ANB is about 221 square kilometres and it is the largest AONB in Wales, covering 1/3 of the island. A number of the habitats in Anglesey are afforded even greater protection through both UK and European designations because of their nature, conservation value. These include 6 candidate special areas of conservation, 4 special protection areas, 1 national nature reserve, 26 sites of special scientific interest, 52 scheduled ancient monuments. These protected habitats support a variety of wildlife such as harbour porpoises and marsh fritillary. The A&B also takes in 3 sections of open, undeveloped coastline which have been designated as Heritage Coast. These non-statutory designations complement the A&B and cover about 31 miles of the coastline. The sections of Heritage Coast are: North Anglesey 28.6 kilometers, Holyhead Mountain 12.9 kilometers, Aberfraw Bay 7.7 kilometers. A living and working landscape. Employment on Anglesey is mainly based on agriculture and tourism. In a number of instances the local produce is also organic. Anglesey is home to Queen's Award for Enterprise-winning frozen yogurt producers Plas Farm, who are based in Gerwin. The most popular forms of recreation include sailing, angling, cycling, walking, windsurfing and jet skiing. These all place pressures and demands on the A&B, but these activities contribute to the local economy. Culture. Anglesey hosted the National Eisteddfod in 1957, 1983, and 1999. The island is a member of the International Island Games Association. Its most successful games were the 1997 Island Games held on Jersey, and the 2005 Island Games on the Shetland Islands. The annual Anglesey Show is held on the second Tuesday and Wednesday of August. Farmers from around the country compete in livestock rearing contests including sheep and cattle. Anglesey has featured in the Channel 4 archaeological television program Time Team. Episode transmission date 4 February 2007. Anglesey is home to Gotwood, an electronic music and arts festival held each summer at the Carregla Wood Estate. Welsh language. Anglesey has historically been a stronghold of the Welsh language, and according to the 2011 census it was the second most Welsh-speaking local authority area in Wales. The historical proportions of residents who could speak Welsh are as follows: 1901, 90.7%, 1911, 88.7%, 1931, 87.4%, 1951, 80%, 1961, 75%, 1971, 66%, 1981, 61%, 1991, 62%, 2001, 60%, 2011, 57%. Today, Welsh is less widely used on the island than earlier in the last century, but it is still the dominant language in certain areas of the island, particularly in the centre, including the town of Llangefni and some areas of the south coast. A notable example is the village of Llanfair Pwll. The island's 5 secondary schools vary drastically with regard to the percentage of their pupils who come from predominantly Welsh-speaking homes, as does the percentage of pupils who can speak Welsh. Ysgol David Hughes. 33% come from Welsh-speaking homes while 90% can speak Welsh. Ysgol Gyffyn Llangefni. Limestone occurs again on the north coast about Llanfihangel and Llangod, and in the southwest round Llanydan on the border of the Menai Strait. Puffin Island is made of carboniferous limestone. Maltraeth Marsh is occupied by coal measures, and a small patch of the same formation appears near Tal Wyf Oil Ferry on the Menai Strait. A patch of rhyolitic, felsitic rocks form Paris Mountain, where copper and iron ochre have been worked. Serpentine is found near Llanfair yn Neubul and upon the opposite shore in Holyhead, under the name Ynys Môn, and in recognition of its extraordinary geological heritage. The island gained membership of the European Geoparks Network in spring 2009, and the Global Geoparks Network in September 2010.